Hello, my name is Kevin, and I will be doing the family systems theory. So the concepts of the family systems theory is family is viewed as a whole. What happens to the family as a whole affects each individual family member. What happens to individuals affects the totality of the family unit. Focus is on the circular interactions among members of the family system, resulting in functional or dysfunctional outcomes. Assessment is involved. The family may be assessed together or individually. Assessment questions relate to the interaction between the individual and the family, and the interaction between the family and the community in which the family lives. Intervention examples include complete a family genogram to understand patterns and relationships over several generations over time. Complete a family ecomap to see how individuals and family relate to the community around them. Collect data about the family as a whole and about individual family members. Conduct care planning sessions that include family members. Strengths of the theory include focus is on family as a whole, its subsystems, or both. It is a generally understood and accepted theory in society. Weaknesses of the theory include theory is broad and general. It does not give definitive prescriptions for interventions. Summary of concepts are the family systems theory is an approach that allows nurses to understand and assess families as an organized whole and or as individuals within family units who form an interactive and interdependent system. It is constructed of concepts and propositions that provide a framework for thinking about the family as a system. Definitions include family. It is a system that affects everyone involved and changes constantly. The definition of health is that it's a component that has a systematic impact on the family as a whole. The definition of environment is the source of stresses and strains and can be internal or external. And in nursing, nurses need to be able to recognize the subsystems of the family, husband to wife, mother to child. Nurses need to understand structure, function, and processes. Theory application to family nursing practice. These are questions based on family systems theory that can be asked when an illness will affect the family at discharge. Who are members of your family? How do you see your family being involved in your care once you go home? Who in your family will experience the most difficulty coping with these changes? How are the members of your family meeting their personal needs at this time? And the last time your condition worsened, what was the most help to your family? And these questions represent how the family systems theory can be applied to our nursing practice and find out more about our patients. The first research project discussion was the influence of family systems theory, obesity treatment on adolescents and parents' perspectives of family dynamics. So in this research project, 13 adolescents enrolled in a family-based obesity treatment program and their mothers completed semi-structured interviews. Questions centered on how, if at all, participation in the program influenced family dynamics and parental influence on healthy lifestyles. So the results, the analysis revealed four primary themes: changes in relationships, stress, food disagreements, and support. The majority of the adolescents did not believe their relationship with their parent changed due to FST obesity treatment, although they did report enjoying the family-oriented activities. Conclusions: findings suggest that both adolescents and parents felt family stress and food-related disagreements were reduced due to participation FST obesity treatment program. Further, adolescents reported high levels of support and emotional availability from their mothers, and providers should be aware of the benefits of FST-based obesity treatment and strive to build upon family strengths in order to improve health outcomes. The second research project discussion is on Family Secrets, an illustrative clinical case study guided by Bowen family systems theory. In this study, Mrs. T is a 38-year-old Caucasian and the youngest of three siblings. Her brother is 13 years older and her sister is 8 years older than she. Because there was 8 years between Mrs. T and her older sister, Mrs. T occupied a quasi-only sibling position. In this position, Mrs. T developed weaker ties with her siblings than if the age distance between them had been less. The primary reasons Mrs. T sought assistance were distance and conflict in her marriage, grief over a recent miscarriage, and the recent diagnosis of attention deficit hyperactivity disorder in her 9-year-old son. Mrs. T mentioned in passing that she had panic attacks that were a result of sexual abuse as a child. And by understanding the relationship process within her family, Mrs. T was able to see more clearly and objectively the system in which the secret of her being abused had been created. This permitted Mrs. T to be more neutral about the response of her mother to the sexual abuse that she had experienced. This increased understanding of the family emotional system enabled Mrs. T to be more neutral and to gain more control over her panic attacks. Summary and conclusion. This theory will be used to assess the family at the end of the semester because it provides a structure to reach a goal of using a family systems perspective to help the family reach stability by building on their strengths as a family, by using knowledge of the family as a social system and understanding how their family is an interconnected whole that is adapting to the changes brought about by the health event of a given family member.